Hey, it's Randy from Certainty. Guess what? You have been labeled. If you want to understand what I mean by that and you want to maybe find out what that label is on you and maybe find out how to change it, hold on. You know what? All of us in the industry have been labeled. Every single one of us. Okay, so whether we like it or not, it's human nature in order to be able to put labels on things. And what I'm going to do is let me give you a couple examples of this. So first off, I first recognized this earlier on, I guess a number of years ago. First time out on my own, I was partnered with another gentleman. We had a business focused on helping organizations build revenue and take sales beyond the first sale. Okay, if that makes sense. We worked with the services organization, support organization in order to be able to drive revenues. Every single client that we went into, he would be pulled onto the support and services side. I'd be pulled onto the sales side. It wasn't a big deal for the first little while, but I started to notice a trend that, every single time that was happening. And then I recognized the fact that the reason being is because he was labeled as a support and services guy. I was labeled as a sales guy. I was the one that was labeled to come in and actually reevaluate the sales strategy, help them take the revenue to the next level, maybe make some changes on the sales team, maybe help them build the sales team. But again, I was constantly being pulled onto the sales side. Okay? Now, let me give you another example. The other day I was sitting down having coffee with a buddy of mine and he said, listen, you know what? Our website, I don't need anybody to help me build a website, but I need somebody that can actually help me with the content. Help me define the content so when the users visit the website, they're getting the information that they're looking for. But ultimately, the wording is there in order to be able to help drive them to take action of some sort. The minute he said that, it was almost like my mental Rolodex where the pictures went through my mind. And I said, I've got the perfect person for you. I went ahead and did the intro to him, to this particular lady that's fantastic at that. Another example of labels. She has been labeled as somebody that, she doesn't build websites, but she's fantastic at basically creating the wording and the content in order to be able to, from a sales perspective, drive things forward. Right? So let me give a last couple of examples. If I said to you, you know what, I need a good mechanic, what comes to mind? Can you think of somebody? I'm sure you can. Do you know any bad mechanics that I want to avoid? I'm sure there's a few of those in your mind as well. If I said, listen, I'm looking to buy a new house, do you know a good real estate agent? What picture comes to mind? Right? I can guarantee you that as soon as I said that, there's probably somebody that popped into your mind that you've either dealt with in the past or you've met at networking meetings, what have you. And you know what? Instantly, they've been labeled, right? They've been labeled as a good real estate agent, or Mike is a good, mechanic and for import cars, whatever the case is. So the reality is that we've been labeled not only based upon what we do, but actually based upon the level of effort or the credibility that we have in doing that as well. Okay, does that make sense? So you may now be asking, well, what label do I have on me? Good question. Because ultimately, that affects our business. That affects our ability in order to be able to get referrals. If people don't know what we do, and so they have no way in order to be able to ultimately know when they should be sending a referral to us, right? But chances are they already have a label on you and what you do, but whether that's the one you want or not, we're not quite sure. So now is a great opportunity to find out, to make sure it is the label that you want so that they do feel comfortable referring to you the right business that's good for you and your company. Okay, so if you're not quite sure what the label is, ask, right? Talk to a few of your friends. Go talk to some of your contacts within the business area that you trust. Maybe talk to some friends and family and say, listen, you know what do you think I do, right? Or even something like if I were walking down the street right now and somebody asked you about me, what would you say, right? How would you describe what I do and the value that I offer? Ask a few people and see what kind of response you get. Now, let's you turn around and you say, okay, that's really not the label that I want to get. It's not hard to change. All you need to do is you can focus in on that. First off, from this point forward, if you want to change that label, you control that label. If you want to change it now when you're at your next networking meeting or you're out networking with people say, so what do you do? There's your chance to create the label for them. Create the label as to what it is you do, what you're really good at, and what an ideal customer looks like for you. Then when they walk away and they hear those keywords again, instantly in their own Rolodex, they're going to say, I should be pointing them towards you. Okay? So also take the time to update all your social media, your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter profile, maybe Facebook if you're on there as well. And you know what? Where they have those summary sections within, for example, LinkedIn, take the time to clearly articulate within that section the value that you bring, the strengths that you offer, as well as the label that you want to have put on you. Okay? I guarantee you that, you know what, if you take the time to do this, people will be able to more easily recognize when they should be sending you referrals and when they should be sending potential clients to you. Easy step to do, but also, again, remember, you control that label. Okay? We'll see you in the next blog post.